He has a council of gods that is referred to as the 24 elders in the Bible, the 24 scientists in the Quran, or the council of God. Comes from Al-Him and means a council of the gods. These gods are men. In the International Standard Bible Encyclopedia, it notes that Elohim was a title designating a position of honor and authority of men. Is a position, just like we just said. And what did our brothers in Egypt call it? Bala, the term that person serves. Bam. The last two videos we went over when we was talking about how God not just a form, the spirit, how he is a man. Them videos important because to worship God, to get closer with God, we need to get a better understanding of God. In this video, we're going to talk about the counsel of God, and we're going to talk about how important and valuable and powerful we are as humans. Because a lot of the times we look at ourselves as we can't be gods, or we can't do this, or we can't do this. We look at ourselves in such a low light, and we see that we operate at a low level and our peers operate at a low level. So we put that on all humans after us, before us, everything. We put that on what potential we have in ourselves. We're like, nah, we can't be gods. So in this video, we're going to talk about the counsel of God, and we're going to talk about if God got a counsel and we want to be like God, who is the great manifesto, who got power over all things. If we want to have power over our life and manifest the things in our life, we want to be like the one who is the great manifesto, who is the one with all the power. So if he has a counsel, we have to look at it and say, okay, it might be wise for us to have a council of our own, or us to be a part of a council we can call our own. You feel me? So with that being said, welcome back to the Dumb Bear Viking podcast. Let's get into this counsel of God. If he got a counsel, if he don't got a counsel. And we know if he do got a counsel and we want to be like him, we need to partner with our brothers and sisters, form our own council. Now, self-development is the basis of community development, if I'm quoting the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan correctly. So don't try to go partner up with brothers and sisters when you so damn irritable, nobody want to be around you. You got to work on yourself a little bit before you go partner with other brothers and sisters. I ain't saying you got to be perfect, but don't be a damn fool trying to come partner with everybody else. You going to mess up what the hell they got going. So develop yourself a little bit. Work on yourself. Be useful to a team. Then let's develop a team. Let's partner up as brothers and sisters. Bam, let's get straight into it. Not only is God a man, which our ancestors agree with, science agrees with it, and scriptures agree with it, which we already showed in the other two videos. But another scripture we'll give an example for is Isaiah 9, 6 through 7. And in that verse, if you think it's talking about Jesus, bro, stop putting words in Jesus' mouth. Jesus already said, no, I'm not God. Don't call me God. I follow God. So the verses where y'all say, the only time it's talking about God got a physical body is when it's talking about Jesus. You retarded. My bad. I'm trying not to be rude about it. You're not retarded. The old me, the me of yesterday, literally 24 hours ago would have called you retarded. But I'm trying to mature. You're not retarded. Your understanding is just not maturity yet. That sounds better. He has a council of gods that is referred to as the 24 elders in the Bible, the 24 scientists in the Quran, or the council of God. These 24 men, Allah being the leader, or if you don't call God by Allah, God being the leader. They all gods, but you get what I'm saying. The other 23 of the gods was a lesser degree, but all 24 of these men govern the universe. Cool. Now let's go in history and let's see, can we fact check this in history? Is this something I'm just making up, some 2024 stuff? Or is it historical presence behind what I'm saying? In ancient Egypt, the creator was a black man named Atum. He was said to have been assisted by a pot. I ain't gonna lie. How the hell do you say this? I don't know if you say pot like pot. That's how we're gonna say it for this video. If I'm wrong, it's on the screen, but you know what I'm saying. Or council of gods called the Ali. Now let's look at the Sumerian Anunnaki. If you watch Billy Carson's or I think what's her name? Neil Tyson, the smart dude, the scientist dude. I think he talked about the Anunnaki too. So people like, oh, okay, what's this? Da da da. The Anunnaki got a council of gods. Let's go into it. Sumer is the name of one of our ancient civilizations. Some scholars say either Sumer or Kemet is the oldest we have knowledge on right now. The oldest and chief god of these black brothers and sisters was called Anu, and his council was called the Anunnaki. So when you hear folks say Anunnaki, that's talking about the council of gods. The place is Sumer. So people, I heard some people, my dad brought it to me one time. I think he heard Billy Carson talking about the Anunnaki. And he was referring to it like Anunnaki is the place. The place is Sumer. Anunnaki is the gods, the council of gods. Samuel N. Kramer in History Begins at Sumer says, from as far back as our written records go, the Sumerian theologian assumed as axiomatic the existence of a pantheon consisting of a group of living beings, man-like in form, but superhuman and immortal, who guide and control the cosmos in accordance with well-laid plans and prescribed laws. Each of these anthropomorphic but superhuman beings was deemed to be in charge of a particular component of the universe and to guide its activities in accordance with established rules and regulations. God damn! Make it simple. It's a group of gods that control the universe. And this is what we see in the intro of this video. Cool. Now, the first part of what he said in this, back up what we've been saying in the last two videos. These are anthropomorphic gods. These are humans. These are men. I said man. These are men. Just like me and you physically, but mentally, logically, they on a supernatural level. You feel me? And through that mental intelligence level, it make a way for you to do things physically different. For example, I'm gonna just use simple stuff. If I take care of my body, let's say I only eat once every 3 days, I super fast. And when I do eat, I only eat the best of foods, good, living, electrical foods. I'ma live longer than somebody else. So if I live, let's say, to be 125, cool. Somebody else, they die at 70. I'm way better off than them. Now, if we extend it, let's say I live to 500 years old. Let's just throw out a number. And this person only lived to 70. I seem more godlike than this person. This person could do what I'm doing if they was disciplined enough to eat once every 3 days. If they was disciplined enough to eat the type of foods or whatever. Like, physically, you could do what I'm doing. But what I'm doing takes such a high level of wisdom, understanding, and discipline. You not doing what I'm doing, I'm a god to you. Bruh, these are human beings operating on the extreme level. What he say? Operating on a superhuman and immortal level. Immortal is not literally immortal, like they literally don't never die, but we're not finna get into that in this video. That'll damn near take a whole nother video to explain, which I don't even think I'm gonna do, of how we understand immortal is not the actual immortal. But what they saying is still true. It's not like they capping. The immortal they saying is still immortal. I'm gonna make it simple. I'm going to try not to go in depth about it so we can keep moving forward. If I got all the knowledge in the world, like I'm God, let's say that, and my little brother, he don't got no knowledge in his head. I take all of the knowledge out of my head and put it in my little brother. Then I die, or I leave, or I do whatever. And my little brother take my place. Did I really leave? If all of my knowledge, principles, everything still here and still being acted out, did I leave? No. So technically, let's say I live for 500 years and my brother lived for an additional 500 years. Technically, I'm here, I'm ruling for 1,000 years. Even though the shell of the person of the first 500,000 years died, if the mentality, the intelligence, the beliefs, the rules, etc. still is in power, that person is still living. Immortality. It can keep going. That's a conversation for another day. We ain't getting into that. Through the cuneiform text, which are the ancient writings of the Sumerians, we learn details of this divine assembly. It was referred to as Puler Ilani, which means the council of the gods, or the Anunnaki. The Anunnaki was composed of an inner circle of the higher and lower region gods. That's important. We're going to get into that later. I touch on it a little bit right now, just so you can understand this passage. You remember in the Bible, it refers to them as the 24 elders. And the Quran, it refers to them as the 24 scientists. This 24, this number 24 is broken up into two. It's 12 and 12. 24 major scientists or elders, 24 minor scientists or elders or gods. I ain't going to say too much more on it. We're going to see it as we read along, but that's what they're talking about. All right, cool. According to Zechariah Stitchin, the number of these heavenly gods was 12. He says, this emphasis on the number 12 can be traced to the fact that the solar system has 12 members. The Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad talked about this. Each of the leading Anunnaki was assigned a celestial counterpart, forming a pantheon of 12 Olympians, who were each assigned a constellation and a month. This Sumerian Anunnaki, consisting of 12 gods, each assigned a constellation and a month, is the root of the origin of the Latin annum, which means year, French année, which means year, and English annual, which means yearly. Stitchin says again, there were many other gods in the summer children, grandchildren, nieces, and nephews of the great gods. There were also several hundred rank and file gods who were assigned general duties, but only 12 made up the great circle of the Anunnaki. I heard some folks say like the Anunnaki like aliens or something, like they don't come from Earth or some. Bro, let's get this straight. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, what other beings do you know greater than human beings? It ain't none. You got other powers, like say the power of the sun. Boy, that's a hell of a power. Okay. But the sun is in submission in a way where it benefits us. Cool. What other intelligent beings do you know of? You don't. All you can do is just play guessing games and do guesswork all day. Human beings are the greatest beings. At the level you operating at, you probably like, hell nah, I ain't great. Or hell nah, I don't see nobody around me being that great. That's the level you operate on. I was finna say something about how we got in that position, but we'll stick on the Council of Gods right now. The Anunnaki not no aliens, gang. They humans. Regular, not regular, let me not say that. But men and women born from a woman, just like you born from a woman. Born from a woman that was on Earth. Not an alien space woman with one eye or green skin or none of that, bro. These are human beings from Earth. let's go into how the most honorable Elijah Muhammad said the same thing. Now, I said this before. The most honorable Elijah Muhammad will say something and it'll be so simple, but it's on a topic that's so complex. You like, dang, that's it. Like you want him to keep going in depth on it because the topic is so pregnant with depth. You will be like, cool. Like he'll say some rocket science, put it in 2 sentences. But you know how important and deep rocket science is. So you just wait for him to finish. You like, okay, keep going, go deeper, go deeper. But what he said is enough to suffice the whole topic of rocket science. But since you interested in it, you want to know more on it, you wait for an explanation. So doing the research to get the explanation is still good. But if you take what the most honorable Elijah Muhammad say on surface value, it's still sufficient enough. So let's see what he say. He said, the 12 major scientists were represented by the 12 constellations. The lower region gods undoubtedly consisted of 12 also. They were also called the council or the gods of heaven and earth. Cool. He said more on it than that, but that's just what we quote here. He then spoke on it in depth more than that, but I'm just saying, just that little picture right there is enough to paint it for you. Bam. He told you what it is. He told you what it ain't. But us want to know more depth is what we're doing in this video, thanks to Brother Wisdom Muhammad who wrote this book. We going into, okay, the history of it, the science of it, the scriptural part of it, X, Y, and Z. We're giving more explanation on it. But even if we had no explanation, he gave the truth right here. Let's continue. This part is important. This refers to what I just said about if I'm God, and when we were just talking about being immortal, immortality. If I'm God, but then I leave, and somebody else take my place, and they still got all my knowledge, I'm still present. Pay attention to this. The head god or judge of the Anunnaki was called I'm not going to try to say the word, which means the king of the gods of the heavens and earth. Anu, the father of the gods, was always that. We're just going to call that the leader because that's what it is. Cool. So Anu, the black god we just talked about earlier, was always the leader, the L word. Cool. Now, he was replaced by the Anunnaki with Marduk, the young god. The way this transition takes place is a perfect example of how the Sumerian council functions. In the Enuma Elish, the old Babylonian creation epic, the Anunnaki gods were looking for a young champion to slay the evil Tiamat. The young god Marduk approached them saying, I'll accomplish what y'all need me to do, but y'all gotta make me God. Cool. Now, that's exactly what we just said. For a long period of time, Anu was the ruler. The L word. Cool. After a while, Anu wasn't the ruler no more. He was replaced by Marduk. Cool. That's exactly what we just said. Somebody else just took the head, but this head still operate off the same logic, the same principles, the same knowledge level, to where everything is still ran on the same accordance of, okay, we're going to do what's best. We got enough knowledge to do what's best. Marduk was put through trials and tribulations to reach that point to take this seat. So as he going through these trials, they testing him. Do you got the same knowledge that can lead us? Like Anu had that knowledge. Do you get this knowledge? Do you get this power? Marduk proved himself. Bam, he took the spot. Simple as that. So if I give the knowledge to my little brother, before I just give him the crown, before I just let him take the seat, I'm going to put him through tests, put him through trials, put him through tribulations. All right, cool. Can you handle this? Do you got the power? Do you got the knowledge to do this, do that? All right, cool. After he proved himself, now I'm confident and comfortable. Like, cool, gang, you got it. I'll holler at you. Run the show. You feel me? That's how it should be passed on. And remember, the point we even talking about this for We want to be like God. We want to form our own council of gods. Cool, take this same knowledge into account. If you run a business, you know you're not good at everything. Like if you run a business, you familiar with this type of talk. Cool. I'm not good at graphic design. I'm not good at marketing. I'm not good at sales. I'm only good in this. Cool. Form you a team that's good with the other stuff. Bam. Then, if you don't want to oversee everybody no more, what you do? You find somebody, teach them how you want everything to be oversaw. After you seen them do it, seen them operate or whatever, handle some situations, and you like the way they move and you feel like they learn from you good, now you can sit back, everything on autopilot. And everybody keep going in their order. When you get ready to lead a business or whatever, you teach somebody in your spot, hey, I don't really want to sell this business. I want to pass it down, but let me show you how I operate. Let me show you how I make everything run so smoothly. Teach somebody in your place. Bam, you die, they take care of it. You feel me? Like, we should take these same principles we learning from the gods and operate it in our everyday life with every possible thing we can do it with. They gods for a reason. We need to take notes. Bam. Proving what we were just saying again. The office of the... Bro, let me try to say this word. Lugandemerankia. I feel like I'm saying it right, goddamn. The office of Lugandemerankia was not a permanent position. Just as the president sits in the seat for a specific term, so did the judge or king of the Anunnaki gods hold their office for a specific term called Bala. Bam. Exactly what we saying. I like the way Brother Wisdom Muhammad put it. It's like the presidency. When somebody else take office, you don't say that's not the president no more. Just because the other president died or the other president resigned or whatever the hell happened. Nah, this still president. And he gonna still operate it off the way the United States see best fit. You feel me? Because the president got a council. He got Congress now. You feel me? He can't pass no laws by himself. The other congressmen can veto it. Be like, hell nah, we ain't doing it. Like, it's still a council, but the president the head. We know that's not necessarily the case if you study politics, but just stay with me using it for example. Let's say the president did have all the power. He was the number one head. Then cool. He the head. He got his council. Bam. If President Trump leave office, then Biden take his place, Biden president. And Biden gonna run America in the way America see best fit. Just like Trump run America. Now, this is a loose example because we know they on two polar opposite ends, but the example is still the same. Y'all can get the example. America just wild as hell, so the example seemed loose as hell when I put it on them. But there was a good analogy the brother had used with the presidency. Then y'all know how on the presidency, they be like, this the Biden administration, this the Trump administration, Roosevelt administration, like they'll name it after the president. Let's see what the most honorable Elijah Muhammad said about that. The planet Earth was governed by 24 scientists. 24 wise scientists, excuse me. The wisest of these scientists was he that was the supreme being, and the name of his great office was Allah. Just as the name of the office of the leader in this country is president. And just as the man who is called by the name president may die and another may take his place, so it is with he that is called by the name Allah. But the name remains forever. Cool. Bam. In ancient Egypt, the priest of Anu, oldest city of ancient Kemet, at a very early period grouped together the greatest gods of Egypt, forming what is called the Pat Neteru, or Company of the Gods, or as it is written in the pyramid text, Pat At. That sound wrong, but we're going with it. Y'all know everything on the screen. The Great Company of Gods. The text also show that there was a second group of gods called Pat Net Aset, or lesser company of the gods. Drop the damn mic. Let's wait a damn minute. When the most honorable Elijah Muhammad was saying this stuff in the 30s, I bet he sounded crazy, especially talking to us black folks that don't know our people, don't know our history. We didn't know our ancestors said this exact same knowledge. So to us, what he's saying is new. What he's saying was old, ancient, and true. It's new that we don't talk about this. You feel me? It's new that we say, okay, we only gonna focus on one being, this one God, which is still cool. Because the one supreme God, if we study him, we'll come across this stuff. But the way we study him now, we don't come across none of this. The way we study him now, we only focus on him, focus on his son that people still try to call him, and that's it. We don't really pay respect to women. We know in our ancient ancestors, civilizations, and traditions, boy, the woman was right next to the man. If the black god was a man, he had a black woman right next to him. They had children. They reproduced just like humans reproduce. But we're going to stick to what our brothers in Kemet said. It's a higher level of 12 gods. It's a lower level of 12 gods. Forming 24. That's exactly what the most honorable Elijah Muhammad said. You're going to see again, that's where it say in other ancient texts and tablets. That's what the Anunnaki said. You feel me? The Bible called them the scientists. The Quran, I take it back. The Bible called them the elders. The Quran called them the scientists. These 24 is in control of our entire universe. Let's keep going into it. We're going to keep proving it over and over, just like every other video we did, because a lot of our people stiff-necked and hard-headed. They've been learning what they've been learning for all their life. And they're like, well, I ain't never heard nothing about the 24 million. And my preacher ain't never say nothing about it, so to hell with it. All right? In the Papyrus of Ani and the Nunifer, we see depicted the judges of Maya as 12 in number, sent on 12 thrones. The earthly representation has two circles, one north, which is the higher region, and one south, which is the lower region, divided into 12 divisions each. 2 divisions divided into 12 each. Back to 24. Come on, bro. Stitching says the head of the Egyptian pantheon was Ra, who resided over an assembly of the gods that numbered 12. Cool. That's about the major gods, the 12 higher region. T. Jacobson, in his article Primitive Democracy in Ancient Mesopotamia, notes the Sumerians and Akkadians, I think I'm saying it right, yeah, Akkadians, pictured their gods as human in form, governed by human emotion, and living in the same type of world as men did. We ain't gonna go into that one. Watch the last 2 videos, goddamn. We already talked about how God is a man. God came from a woman. Just like y'all say Jesus came from a woman. But then y'all also try to say Jesus God. But then y'all try to say Jesus got pregnant by a ghost. That's cap. Keep reading the Bible. Probably not in the Bible. Your understanding on that off. Seek wise teachers that can advise you differently. But bam, bruh saying it here again. T. Jacobson, the Anunnaki and the Akkadians and the Sumerians both pictured their gods as human in form, governed by human emotions, living with humans. And elsewhere, I believe it's in one of the other videos we just got done doing, I cited how these researchers and people who actually study this stuff also said that the God reproduces like men reproduce too. 6. Cool. The main difference is that these humans are supreme in knowledge and power. Cool. And then, I think it was in the last video, we talked about, oh no, it's in the video I didn't drop. One of the videos I did is too exclusive for YouTube. Like, bro, I posted, I'm gonna get banned or get my stuff deleted like the same goddamn day. For that type of information, I'm gonna make, I don't know, what's the giant, a rumble or something, like somewhere I can actually say truth, no matter what I'm saying truth about, and we'll dive into that type of knowledge. But I'm gonna touch on this part since I didn't post this in the video that I archived. We know through studying, when they translated the word Elohim and all that, Elohim mean plural, is gods with an S. So from knowing it and talking about these gods, the council of gods, a lot of people think we're talking about the Orthodox Christian interpretation of the Trinity. No, like, let's make that clear. Unless somebody watch this video and they be like, well, he talking about 24. No, like, this can mean just the Trinity. That's what it mean by gods. No, that's not what it means. I know what I'm saying. I know what it means. 24 people, humans, not a ghost, a father spirit ghost, and a physical human being. No, I'm talking about 24 human beings that's supreme, where one is supreme and the other ones are still gods, just of a lesser degree than the supreme one. Now, remember what we were saying, Elohim? And you know the Bible say Elohim? All right, cool. Remember when we were just saying that God and these authoritative positions are immortal, but immortal don't mean the literal physical shell that they in lasts forever. Nah, the physical give out eventually, just like everything else physical. It give out eventually. Some stuff take way longer to give out. Like the sun gonna take a hell of a long time to give out, but the damn sun still gonna give out. You see what I'm saying? So anything physical, material, it's gonna give out. The knowledge, the wisdom, the understanding, the regulations, etc., those are the more immortal things. Those stay the same. So just like we were just saying that these authoritative positions change faces or change people, but the knowledge keep getting transferred. It's like the presidency. Damn, I hate using that example because America is so goddamn messed up. But you get what I'm saying. Let's go into it again. Lloyd Graham and his deceptions and myths in the Bible says again, the word Elohim comes from Alhim. Damn, in the video I took down, we prove how the word Allah was taken out of the Bible. When I find a way to put that type of information up, because it won't be on YouTube, I'm going to let y'all know, bam, we can go deeper into that. Comes from Alhim and means a council of the gods. These gods are men. In the International Standard Bible Encyclopedia, it notes that Elohim was a title designating a position of honor and authority of men. Is a position, just like we just said. And what did our brothers in Egypt call it? Bala, the term that person serves. Bam. All right, so in this video, we proved that God got a council, is a supreme God, and there's 23 other gods, 11 other major gods of the upper region, and 12 other lower gods, all 23 of the other gods other than the one supreme Allah. All the rest of them are gods to a lesser degree. Like, they not equal to the God, but nevertheless, they still gods. Very, very, very powerful gods. And they rule the universe. But imagine if you got a business you want to rule. I ain't gonna lie. If them 24 can rule the universe, right? You and your girl, you and your partner, you by yourself can run a successful business. Then to continue to grow, to continue to elevate, to continue to conquer life, bam, get that team. Remember how we said the gods procreate, they have sex. Of course, they mate selection, I bet, is outstanding. Their courting process is probably magnificent, but nevertheless, they mate, they reproduce, they have a family. Cool. If we want to reproduce what the gods produce, we know the gods ain't just around here just having baby mamas and not taking care of their kids or etc. or calling their women B's and H's. Like, but we know that ain't what the gods doing. So we got to strip ourselves of doing all that other than what the God's doing if we want to produce the outcome that the God's producing. So if the gods got a team, got a council, and they got a team of gods, it ain't gods working with niggas and all type of other negative words and people who associate themselves with these words. No, to get stuff done, but the gods working with the gods. Iron sharpening iron, you the company you keep. And they conquer the world. Bam. I see this brother doing good. He look like iron. This sister look like iron. I want to be iron. Let me sharpen myself up. Let me go hang with them. Not even just hang. Let me plan something. Let me, hey, this is what I got planned. This is what I want to do in life, etc., etc. What y'all want to do. You feel me? And like I was saying about the gods procreating, that might be your team. That might be your council or whatever, however you want to put it. You can literally create your own from you and your wife, or if you're a sister, you and your husband, whatever, create your own council, raise them up, and y'all build like that. You can go tag on with some brothers and sisters that already know what you're doing. Regardless, we see God got a council. We want to be like God. We know God a human. It ain't no spirits. Well, we got spirit in us, but we already know that it ain't no formless spirits out here that's teaming up with other folks. So it ain't like, oh, it's something I just can't do. And nah, these your people, your fathers, your ancestors teaming up, conquering life, creating life in its entirety. Not even just creating life through conception like me and you. They control the universe. Cool. If they do that, and these my people, these my ancestors, this my God, I can't control my life, the life of my family, the life of my business. But let's get it together, form our team, form our council. From this video, the other video we just did about how the people of Israel believed in God as a human before it got corrupted, and the other video proving God a man, we should be growing a deeper and better understanding on who God is, the truth of God, the reality of God. I did a video explaining how the truth of God got corrupted, who corrupted it, who I went and dealt with it. But I don't want to get canceled. So until that video drop, it's going to stay in the vote. But when it do drop, I'm going to let y'all know where to find it or whatever. But until then, check in with me on the next episode of the Don't Be a Viking podcast. Like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. I'll let y'all on the next episode. Yes, sir, Ski.